welcome to the Mic Drop series, which is March the 1st through the 25th with myself, Paula Marie. All you have to do is just go to bit.ly/mic drop series and you will be able to get all 16. Now we have 16 free business tools inside of the Mic Drop series. I'm excited to be able to share this with you because each and every expert that I am highlighting throughout the month of March for Women's History Month are people that I'm connected with. They're people that I've seen work their magic. They are elevating themselves and their businesses and their brands by elevating women along the way. They are delivering their expertise, their tools, and their God-given gifts to be able to help women reach their goals and to be able to build businesses and legacies. And that's why we celebrate them during the month of March, which is Women's History Month. Now, listen, it's March. April 15th is around the corner. You know, tax season, we in the thick of it. Some of you have already filed your taxes, but as entrepreneurs, it is super important for us not only to know how to bring the money in, but what to do with the money in terms of making sure that we are paying all of the things that we need to on those untaxed dollars that we are getting for the products and the services that we're delivering. So I'm excited because I got my girl, Robblynn Graham. She's actually one of my clients. She's inside of the Problem Slayer Academy, but okay, she has her own superpower in and of itself that has nothing to do with me. So let me bring her on to the screen. Here we go. Robblynn, you're on.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, there's a little bit of background. Do you have video on in the background?
Hello, everyone.
Hey, there's a little bit of background.
So,
Yes. Do you have
stop the
your
background.
video on?
Got it. It's off.
All right. Yeah. Like just take that all the way out.
Yeah, it's completely off.
All right. So, Robblynn, go ahead and introduce yourself and your superpower with the people and tell the folks who you are and what your expertise is and what problems you slaying in these internet streets.
Well, my name is Robblynn Graham. I am the owner of HMC Tax Financial Services, LLC. I help people with money problems, helping them create budgets so they can stick with it, or if they already on track for us paying their bills on time, then they maybe want to go on to the next step, or they just need help just managing their bills. I also do taxes for individuals and small business owners. I also provide things dealing with taxes. I help them file back taxes, tax resolutions if they get the little letter from the IRS, that they if they have any problems with their tax return. Also do estimated tax returns with their for small businesses because they have to pay quarterly if they make over a certain amount, and that's about it. That's about it.
All righty. So you got two screens up. You got two devices up
No.
because you're looking to the side. Now you're looking at me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Yeah. So listen, when it comes to tax season, what is the biggest mistake that entrepreneurs are making this year in 2022?
Well, one of the biggest mistakes that they're doing is that their receipts aren't in order, far as far as their deductions. In order for your deductions to apply to take the claim, you have to on the receipt. You're definitely going to have the place that you went to. You're definitely going to have the date and the time, and also the dollar amount. But what people are failing to put on there, which are two key pieces, which is the person that they met at that place and their purpose. That determines if that deduction should be claimed or not. And usually, when you get a receipt, you should write those things down right away. And so that way, if you get audited, you have your information in front of you. And if you don't have the information on that receipt, then you're going to end up owing the IRS their money.
Yeah, I got a tip on that a while back. So like for example, I'm a Pilates trainer. So when I go into the city sometimes in DC, sometimes I have to pay for parking. And so I got the tip to write on my receipt my client's name
Hmm.
and the location that I'm training at,
Yeah.
take a snapshot of it, and
Hmm.
just kind of put that in my little, like a separate little file, just like you would store like your photos, just have a separate one for receipts. And
Right.
that has helped me a lot because I use QuickBooks. So it's easy to just transfer that onto QuickBooks, but then there's no question.
Right.
Same thing with like eating at a restaurant. What was the client's name that you met?
Right.
What was the purpose? What was the product? Was it for Pinterest coaching? Was it for an event planning? Like just a little explanation, take a picture. So generic receipts are something that I think we don't keep up with because I hate paper. I hate paper. And
Hmm.
so they're easy to lose, but then also they're easy to fade, especially with the way we've gone to digital. So you can have a receipt from February, and by the time you get ready to do your taxes a year later, it's faded.
It's faded. Yeah.
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 So I think that's a really, really good tip. Now,
Yeah.
tell us about the gift that you placed inside of the freebie tool bag. What
Oh,
is it that you are giving the business owners and entrepreneurs when it comes to how they can like hold on to more money? Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to hold on to more money.
yes. So the Excel spreadsheet, it has a tab for you to list your income. The second tab is for you to list all your expenses. And then the third tab, if you have a home based business, you will list those expenses there. So it's basically just so you can keep track of it, something to give, to me as your tax preparer. So I have the information. You just putting in the numbers for me, but you have the backup. You have the documentation to support those numbers. So that's what the freebie is all about.
It's like a tracking sheet, correct?
Yes, it's like a tracking sheet, and so it lists the categories like the income. It's listed by the months in the calendar and different sources of income where it came from. It could come from straight from your bank account. It could be from Cash App. It could be from Zelle. You just list everything. I did put a note at the bottom that try not to mix your business money with your personal money. You're supposed to keep that stuff separate. You know,
Right,
that's it's a big no-no to mix all of that in together. You want to have
right.
it separate. So at least so you can be able to track your money and
Yeah, I feel like sometimes when you're just starting, you can become, oh, she froze. I know that there's a huge storm that's in the area.
at all
Um,
classes that you had to
oh,
take.
she's back. She's back.
Oh,
You froze for a second.
I paused
Okay.
for a second. So for on the expense, you have the like professional fees, like if you took some classes to keep up with your skills, you can put that stuff on there. A lot of things that you can write off. It's just a tracking sheet, just so you can put those items on there and to give to um, me, your tax preparer.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it makes it simple and easy.
Yes.
So when you've been a tax preparer for a minute, and an accountant for a minute, what made you decide that you wanted to like shift into coaching women on how to manage their money? What was that? Why? What was the why for that?
My why is because I didn't learn really how to manage money until maybe like 15 so years ago. And so once I got my system down packed, I just wanted to share it with others. I'm like a helpful person um, that want to share how I was able to overcome my money struggles. And with my approach, I just want to show. tell it to everybody. And it's a story behind it. Is I just got sick and tired one day of just robbing Peter to pay Paul, and so I decided to figure it out. It was rough in the very beginning, but once I got my system going, I still use it to this day. My system, and so it works, and I know it will work for others, where they're not going to be financially stressed out or trying to figure out how they're going to pay their bills. So my method works.
Yeah. Okay. And that's it on period. Your method works.
My method
So
works.
this is actually a free guide. It's open to anyone that can get it. You want to make sure that you go to bit.ly/, my drop series. That's going to be where you're able to download Roblynn's free gift along with the other 15 free gifts as well. You'll see it underneath. Just make sure you click here, but it's also inside of the description of the video as well. So definitely go to the mic drop series. We've got 11 amazing experts. They all have gifted some amazing, fabulous tools to help you get started in the things that may be having you stuck or maybe not having you as organized inside of your business, but also making sure that you're good just as a person. Because I know when my money is good, when I'm all organized, my life is good. Like everything is amazing when my money is good. When my money ain't good, life ain't good.
No, it's not.
So
No, it's
that's it has
not.
a trickle down effect. So you really want to make sure that you're dealing with that. So are you seeing anything with COVID affecting your clients in terms of um, their taxes and how they're being prepared and or not prepared? Maybe some tips that you can give, maybe one or two tips to help your clients or anyone watching help your tax prepare, okay? With
Yeah.
your business. Don't come with the shoebox, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No. No shoe boxes over here. I don't have that's too time consuming. So yeah. The only thing I tell my clients is, just making sure they have all their paperwork and stuff in order. Everything. Well, the ones that I've been dealing with for many years. I
Oh, she
know, but if
froze.
it,
She
yeah,
froze again. Oh,
pardon me.
she's back. Okay. You froze for
Oh,
a second.
I froze for
Okay,
a
go
second.
ahead.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I like my clients when they have their stuff in order. Come prepared, and then I can ask questions. Have this changed or whatever. But even with the like this new year, like there's some things that people are missing when it comes to preparing their getting their taxes done. And one of them is like the form 7202, which is the self-employed COVID credit that some people may be missing out on.
Mm-hmm.
So they take you can either use your 2020 income or your 2021 income, whichever has the higher net profit. You'd be if you took off for getting a shot, or if you took off to if you had to quarantine, if you had to take care of your children because their schools were closed, those days that were missed from you not working, the government will give you that money back as a credit. So some people
Wow.
probably already filed their taxes already.
Right.
So you come see me and I will amend them for you so you can get your credit, because that is like a credit that a lot of people are missing.
Right, right. And that's important because I don't know the how. You just told me the what, but I don't
Hmm.
know the how. So I would
Hmm.
definitely need to reach out to you so that you can make sure that the how is being done the way it should be
It should be.
according to the law of,
Of course.
of the federal government. Okay.
Yes. You
We
don't want
can,
to mess with Uncle Sam.
yeah, we don't want to mess with Uncle Sam.
Mm-mm.
And also, I wanted to ask you when it comes to deciding to do this thing on your own. You've already answered that you just wanted to help other people to understand money because it wasn't explained to you.
Correct.
Um, when people are asking you questions, is there a question that you think or that people should already know, but you keep getting these questions all the time? and you're like, wow, I thought that everybody knew this or that this was common knowledge. Is there anyone in particular that sticks out?
No, not really, because even for myself, I was like them. So it's like I didn't, I had to figure things out on my own. And once I, started, taking care of my money the right way, I was good.
Yeah.
I just want people to be good. It's you can have little income to making thousands and thousands. Everybody has different priorities when it comes to their money and what they want to do with it. But usually the ones that don't have enough money are the ones that are the big savers.
Right.
Pretty much, right? So, but it can be all done. I mean, it doesn't matter your circumstances. It just what matters is what your goals are. What's important to you. So it's my job to listen to get you to where you want to be,
Right.
basically.
So if someone hasn't filed, um, maybe they didn't file during COVID because of whatever reason, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm,
we're in 2022, 2021, they didn't file.
mhm.
Um, what's the best way for them to go about that? Should they file 2021 first and then 2022, or should they do it in reverse? We're in this year, so file this year and then go back and file the previous year.
Well, I will start with going back first and then bring them forward. Like I will do everything in one lump and bring them forward. That's the best way to do it. And if
So 2021 first and then 2022.
yeah, well, 2022 we're going to pay next year. So actually, we're filing taxes for 2021 for 2022. Yeah,
Right.
right. Yeah. But
Hmm.
yes, I will do 2021 and go back. But I will start going backwards first to bring them forward. I will go back to bring them forward with their taxes. I think you can go back 6 years, I believe.
Hmm.
So 6 years back in this, during the tax period. So I will bring them forward. And I have had clients, plenty of clients that I had to do back taxes for.
Right.
So it's not uncommon.
Okay.
A lot of
Because that was
people
a
that
question when I was
yeah,
reaching out, and I got some questions from some people that
yeah,
couldn't be here. And that was like two or three people had that
yeah.
question. I was like, oh, okay. So you're right. It's not
It's
uncommon because I
it's
had two or
not
three people that
uncommon.
asked that. Right.
It's not uncommon at all.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I
So,
also I also get a lot of clients too that end up getting letters from the IRS like, hey, you overstated, your income tax, you owe us this, that, and the other. I'll read the letter and I'm like, hey, you forgot a W-2 or you forgot this, you forgot that. And it's a quick, easy fix.
right.
So and I also have gotten clients where I hate to say this really, but it is what it is. But I am a professional. But there's a lot of tax preparers out there that just out there to just get the money and probably charge them based on how much their refund is, and or they milk their tax return so they can have a higher return, and then they end up with a letter from the IRS.
Right.
And then they try to go to them to try to help them with it, and they're not
They're
responding to
not
them at
equipped.
all. So you got to
Yeah.
be very careful who you pick as your tax professional, you know, because it's they're coming down on the people that are doing stuff like fluffing the tax returns. So you
Yeah.
have to be very, very careful who's doing your return, because it's going to end up falling into your lap because you're the one that signed the tax return at the end. It's not the tax
Yeah.
preparer, it's you that have
Right.
to answer to them. So
So in your coaching program, because you have a coaching program as well, what can someone expect inside of the coaching program? And you don't have to like don't give them everything, okay?
no.
Just give them the broad strokes of what it is they can expect
Well, the
inside
first
of it.
the first thing I would do, I would basically listen to what they're struggling with, you know, and then we would do certain things to I'll have a list of things that I will ask them. Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Have you cut this? Have you done this? Or that or whatever, and then take them by I would do it. All depends on the person too. More likely like baby steps. Okay, I'm gonna give you this assignment. cover do this part first, and once we master this, then we're going to go on and we're going to do this next step. So sometimes it's just like I said, it's about um, it's changing your behavior, getting them used to another habit that they're going to stick with for the rest of their life. So that's my job. That's what I want them to do.
Yeah, I will say that my budget that I created probably 10 years ago I created it about 15, but because I stayed with the same job for 10 years, that I just quit, by the way. But it feels so good every time I say that. Okay. Um, but that budget works for me. So I
Good.
have money that goes into different pockets. I don't even miss it. I don't look for it. I don't,
Yeah.
because it's a system that works for me. So
Yes.
definitely finding a system, because there's not just the system. There are many different ways that you can shape how you
Yeah.
organize your money. And
Yeah.
then as your money grows, then your system can grow with it.
Right. And every one person's not going to be the same as the other. It just all depends on how it would work for them. So that will be my goal, is to specialize something that's going to work for you, so
Right.
you can stick to it. Right.
So
Because
it's
my method,
more
I mean,
individual coaching.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it's all about the mind. You gotta listen. That's the key.
Hmm.
That's key to
So
everything.
is there anything else that you want to leave with the people before we end our mic drop series? You dropped some mics, some mic dropping nuggets today about this money, preparing taxes.
Mhm.
You dropped some stuff.
The only other thing that I want to leave with people are the ones that are the business owners, small business owners. When you open up your business, you have to make sure that your business is set up correctly. Your own bank account, whatever the structure may be, a C corp, S corps, self proprietor, LLC. You have to get that. That's number one. That's the very first step, that you have to determine how you're going to, structure your business. The second thing is, as a small business, people don't realize you still have to pay taxes, and when you're self-employed, you have to be very, very disciplined when it comes to taxes, because you're not working a W-2 like you go into an employer and they pulling the taxes
Hmm.
out for you. You have to be very disciplined to put that money to the side and pay it quarterly to the IRS. If you don't, they're going to charge you interest and penalties at the end of the year when it's time to file. And you have to, like when I said be disciplined, you have to be, because it's hard for you. It's hard for a person to come up with all that cash when it's time to file their taxes. If you do it quarterly, it won't be as bad, you know. So you want to do that for sure. And I can help clients with estimating their taxes for them to send into Uncle Sam. I definitely provide that service as well.
Oh,
And the
wow.
yeah, I do that as well. And the other thing too is employment taxes. Now that's a whole different beast. If you have employees underneath you, you have to pay that money to Uncle Sam. Because you took it out of your employer or your employee's paycheck, and so they pay a part of Social Security, Medicare. You have to pay that other half of it too, as that's a benefit that you have to pay for them. So you have to be very strict when in discipline in paying that stuff to Uncle Sam. If not, you're in a whole world of trouble. I've had clients that had came to me with stuff like that too. That they haven't paid their employees' taxes. So it happens. It happens,
Right.
but I don't want that to happen to you. So do it right and just pay it, and just you don't want those troubles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, Robin, thank you so much for coming inside of the Mic Drop series. For this is the first one, and I'm excited that you said yes. I'm excited that you were able to share your superpowers. We definitely need to make sure that we're getting our money together. And let me just say this: even though we're doing this in the month of March, right, and we're in the thick of tax season, you still need to make sure that you are getting your business tax ready all year long.
Oh
So
yeah.
for the hashtag replay group, if you're watching this in the month of June, in the month of September, and you feel like, oh, I need to get my tax life together, but I'm gonna wait. Don't wait. Just drop in, go to bit.ly/, Mic Drop Series, download all the freebies. Roblynn's is included. And once you download her Excel spreadsheet, which is a tracking sheet to help you stay on track, you're going to be inside of her community, which means you're going to have access to her. The purpose of the Mic Drop series is not only to share women's superpowers, but it's also to give you access to people who can help you in your business in whatever direction that you want to go in, or in whatever your business needs and requires. And we all need a tax professional. So
Mhm.
there's never a time not to reach out to get that help and to make sure that you get the clarity that you need when it comes to your money. Thank
Right.
you so much, Robblynn. I appreciate you, Queen, for coming in today for the Mic Drop series.
Thank you.
Yeah. So listen, the Mic Drop series, we've got a couple of more interviews left. I'm super, super excited. This is the last week. And then all next week, we'll be doing replays. But just in case you didn't know, just in case you wanted to know, the Mic Drop series is being sponsored by the Mind Body Reset Retreat. The Mind Body Reset Retreat this year is going to be in sunny Puerto Rico. We're going to be there July 13th through the 18th. And we're going to take pictures in downtown San Juan. Our house is perched on a mountaintop that's just steps away from the beach. We're going to be able to tour the countryside, do amazing excursions. We're having a private chef come in. This is where you go to reset so you can come back really focused for your business. All the information is inside of the description. So make sure if you're interested to click www.mindbodyresetretreats.com and ask any questions that you need. We've got a couple of spots left because in a couple of months, we're going to be at the beach. Thank you so much for joining this session of the Mic Drop series. I can't wait for you to watch the rest of the interviews because everybody brought it this time. Have an amazing time. Bye.